All right, guys, this is Jeff Gamble out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and this is our first. This is a pre-launch. This is an open house for HBA. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you some information on what it is we do, how we do it, and basically we're just asking for a favor. We want to let you know what it is exactly that we do and how we do it, so that way, if you run across the right person, you have the ability to refer them to us. So you just get back with the person who actually invited you to this open house. I will be your host here and the speaker for the Home Business Academy is what this actually stands for. So every single Tuesday, we will be doing an open house at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be a weekly event. This month of April, we're just going to call the month of April a pre-launch, getting things all in tune, in the right line, working out all the edits that we need to do. So I am the presenter. Picture of me and my fiance, Brandy. We do own several traditional businesses, including 317 Holistic Health. I believe there's 13 of us now, which is just crazy to say. Meridian Street Realty Group, I do own a residential real estate company where we, buy, sell, invest. Solid Property Investors is one of our investment companies where we buy and flip not only land, but we actually buy houses on contract without using um, credit or a down payment in most cases. So I just got a call today for a house we looked at months and months and months ago, and the guy's like, "Hey, some stuff has changed. I'm ready to do something." So that's very cool. Something to follow up on. And then my leadership network is actually a training company, a consulting company where we actually teach recruiting, team building, event building, and growth and achievement. I've been in the direct sales industry for over 30 years. So Brandy and I do look at a lot of businesses. I basically get pitched opportunities of all kinds. Typically once a week, I'll see something. Some weeks I'll get hit up 3 or 4 or 5 times. I got hit up twice over the weekend from different companies. I got hit up today from a friend of mine that I haven't talked to in years, who's actually a six-figure earner. He's involved in something new, trying to get me information on it. And the reason I bring that up is when you look at lots and lots of different opportunities, you see different, good and bad is what I'd call it. There's great things about the direct sales industry, and there's some not so great things about the direct sales industry. Brandy and I were looking for something very, very specific. I wanted something that anybody could do. I wanted something that was what we'd call low cost to do, but high return, meaning the commissions had to be very high. And typically, what you find is if it's very low ticket item, it has a very low commission, which means you need hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of people to be able to get to a what I would call a life supporting income. Brandy and I, because we have holistic health, we're both holistic doctors. We do pretty well, financially. We have decent money. I can't say it's great money. Great money to me is much, much more than what we have, but we do well. Donald and I were just talking right before everybody jumped on that we're actually headed out. My grandmother has been having some major issues, stroke, etc. Has ended up in rehab, and we're going to go over and see her. And he's like, "Well, it's really cool that you guys can just get up and go." And Brandy and I, over the past few years, have been very, very fortunate that we actually have put ourselves in a position where if something major, catastrophic happens, we can literally drop everything in a few hours, just get up and go. We have the time, we have the money. But what Brandy and I were looking for specifically, and what I've been searching for several years, is a way to keep everything going that we're doing. We're not going to quit anything that we're doing, but how do we add something to the mix without taking up all our time, without disrupting what we're doing, where we could make anywhere between double to 10 to 20 times what we currently make. That's what we were looking for. So needless to say, we had to go through a lot of things to find that. And, when I saw this, I'm like, finally, what I've been looking for exists. So I just want to give you this information on it. So we're going to evaluate 6 different areas. The first one being the leadership. Who created the program? They say who you do business with is more important than the business you do. The company Obviously, you have to have a rock solid company. So I'm going to give you some information on that. The need and market availability of your product or service that you market is extremely important. The products themselves, how do they compete in the market? Are they comparable to anything? Are they superior? Obviously superior products that do everything that you need them to do would be great, especially if they're less expensive than what the market delivers, which I'm going to share with you here in a minute. The compensation, are you paid well for what you do? And the answer to that is yes. There's another person that I was supposed to text message that I forgot to. So real quick, I'm going to send that while I'm thinking of it. So this is what we do. People are like, well, what exactly do you do? We basically send information to people and have them look at what we do. That's the main objective here. That's marketing 101. Copy. Wait a minute. That's not right. Here it is. Copy. And I'm looking for a name somewhere. A name. Okay, this is one person. And I need one more person here somewhere. If I can spell. You don't have to be smart to do this. You just have to be able to copy and paste and find people. So the compensation, very important. Are you paid well for what you do? And I'm going to show you a couple different ways that we get paid here. And the most important one is the recurring revenue. And then the timing. Where are we at timing wise with what we're doing? They say in real estate, it's location, 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 but in business, it's timing, timing, timing. Ty Lopez, which has made literally of fortunes online, said it's very, very smart to catch trends. He goes, people who make a lot of money necessarily aren't the smartest people. And they aren't necessarily always the first person in the gate, but they do catch the trend when the trend is going. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. The leadership. So started out, and they're two founders. I don't know why one says co-founder. I got to change that. That's one of the edits. But founded by Paul Hutchings. I actually, as soon as I saw this, I knew who Paul was. There was a company years ago that, brought a lot of very talented people together. When I say a lot, that company brought 269,000 people into it in 5 years. One of the very successful people, one of the top team builders, was this guy here, Paul Hutchings. Now, he worked for a multi-billion-dollar network marketing company as corporate. He worked on the corporate side of it. He eventually went out and got into direct sales in 2006. Like I said, became a top recruiter, top team builder in that company, and then has become not only a millionaire, but went from like living in a trailer, literally. I mean, that's the story. He went from, and I've seen pictures of the trailer. He went from living in a trailer park to becoming a millionaire, flipping houses, traveling, doing all the things you want to do. As a successful entrepreneur. Now, it was also founded, I don't know why it says co-founded, but it was also founded by Mike Hobbs. Now, these two were friends inside of that company that I worked with. Now, his background, prior to this is he worked at Walmart. So, he had a lot of experience in digital marketing working at Walmart. He also worked at Shoney's as a dishwasher. So, this is a person with some high technical skills. And then he went into the military and he's retired from the military. Now, his experience, he actually started in 2003. He actually gave me an edit to that. I don't know why I said 2005, but 2003 is when he entered direct sales. He spent a boatload of money trying to learn in and out of different companies. And he said it's somewhere north of 20 companies that he was in and out of before he figured out kind of what to do and how to do it. But once he did, he actually has become a $1 million earner in multiple companies, which is very cool. And obviously, he's earned over $1 million, building his own company, which is HBA. So these two guys, and let me give you kind of what happened. These two guys were in a company. They did very, very well. They liked the idea. That company, unfortunately, did not work out. So they masterminded and they said that they were basically sitting together having this conversation about what they loved about the industry. And there was a whole list of stuff they liked about the industry. Then there was a whole list of stuff they didn't like about the industry, which I'm going to share in our fast start training. that, if you decide to get involved in this, he gives both of those lists. And I'm going to show you both of those lists of what, people are not so happy about in the industry, like the fact that, companies can change comp plans and companies can do all kinds of weird things. They didn't necessarily like that. They didn't like the idea of having to have thousands of people. They wanted to be more in control of their income. So they kind of came together with that idea and said, we need to launch our own company. So that's what they did. They basically founded this company, launched it in 2016. Its headquarters, beautiful headquarters in the great state of Idaho. Now, why Idaho? Because, one of them lives there. It is ground floor. When I say ground floor, there are less than 4,000 associates worldwide. This is a worldwide opportunity, so you can go anywhere in the world. Anybody that could speak English and listen and read. So success wise, they've already paid out more than $7 million in commissions, which doesn't seem like a ton, but when you see the price point, you'll understand their core values. This was part of the good list. They said, look, we want quality. We need quality in the products. We need quality in the people. We need simplicity. We need something that's not so complicated. If you've been in direct sales, network marketing, you have seen the comp plans where you need one person here and one person there, and both people have to get this many points or this many customers or this many something. And then, if you hit it just perfectly and the moon aligns with the sun and everything goes right, you might get a commission. No, I'm kidding, but like there's just a lot of complication to it. They said, we just want to make something stupid simple. Here's the product. Here's how you get paid. Putting people first. And the only way you can put people first is if you build something that's solid, that's going to last, and you do what you say you're going to do. So, there's a couple different needs here. Obviously, one of the needs is the people who need our product. This specific open house is for the people who are interested in also making money. Now, can you use this for your direct sales network marketing, affiliate marketing, traditional business? Yes, you can use it for all those things. But I specifically am here to talk to people who are also interested in earning an income by sharing information about leads and about marketing and the systems behind that make it work. So I believe there's a huge need out there, and this is the reason why the direct sales industry is, consistently recruiting and growing. Is people are looking to make more money. Just started a conversation with somebody that I saw on one of the Facebook pages that I belong to. I decided to join, and this is a marketing tip. So we're going to talk marketing. So marketing tip is I joined all the local cities around Indianapolis, one of them being Fishers, Indiana. Fishers, Indiana chatter, Carmel chatter, Zionsville chatter. So probably where you live, there's a bunch of cities around you, and you join all these chatter groups about what's going on in your local market. Well, it never fails. It never fails. There's always somebody on there who's saying, hey, I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for a career. I'm looking for an opportunity. This person said, hey, look, I already work a job. I'm a single mom. I got 2 kids, and I need another opportunity. I'm looking for something to do. And the reason I want to work a second job is because I have 3 business ideas that I want to start. I was like, that's an ideal person to talk to. So I reached out, and within 2 short messages, we friended each other and we got into a conversation. And she's now giving me her entire background on what she's done. She's only 21, so it's not a ton of stuff, as she said. But she also told me her dream, what she's looking for. She wants to start her own clothing line. She wants to also open a restaurant. And she's an artist that likes artwork and making candles and draws and does tattoos and all this different stuff. So people are looking to make more money. The question is are you looking for them, and are you putting yourself in a position to find them? Number 2 is to have more time. The only way to get more time, obviously you can't get more time, right? There's only 24 hours in a day. If you ask, people, hey, I'm just looking for more time, they might lock you up. But if you say, hey, I'm looking to buy my time back, I don't necessarily like what I'm doing full time. I'd love to have enough money where I didn't have to do that, or I didn't have to do a second job, third job. More time is something that people are looking for to do the things they want to do, right? I mean, imagine if you made enough money where you could go do what you wanted to do when you wanted to do it. Imagine tomorrow, Wednesday, your income was totally replaced and you could go do whatever you wanted to do. You had the money, you had the time. What would you do? Number 3 is to create more security. Obviously, people are looking for that. We see every day Oracle just laid off 30,000 people. You know, there's constant companies are cutting back. AI is coming into the market in every industry. Supposedly by 2030, 41% of jobs could be in jeopardy because of AI. If you tie that also to robotics, and Elon Musk, is in the moon and building Tesla cars and all this other stuff. One of the other things he's doing is he now has a manufacturing plant that is doing nothing but putting together robots, like personalized robots that can be at your house. They're talking about teaching them medical stuff. So, what's going to happen if you can get a robot for a couple grand that can take your temperature and do your blood pressure and, all these different things? What happens to the whole home healthcare industry? Right? I mean, that industry would be gone. Autonomous cars, which is already going on, right, Dave Roeder? Because out by you, there's autonomous cars, meaning there is no physical driver. It's a complete AI system. Robotics is running that car. You get in, you basically tell it where you want to go. I believe it's an app that you tell it where it wants to go. It says, "Hey, put your seatbelt on, buckle up, and let's go." I've had several friends go out and use it. They said it's wild. It's wild being in that, situation. I mean, this is Star Trek for real. So security, people are kind of starting to get wise. Oh my gosh, could I be in jeopardy? And the answer is if you have a job, you're in jeopardy because obviously if they can figure out AI and robotics and replace you, they will. Well, I'm talking about big companies, big corporations. Number four, to help more people. If you have money and you have time and you have security, there's only one other thing I know that you could go do, which is help other people. And, last but not least is, people are looking to have more fun and, more freedom. This is a picture of one of my best friends. Unfortunately, who's passed away just recently. We went to a concert. He was the first one who took me to one of these concerts. And people are just looking for, that entertainment. They're looking for new experiences. And what do you have to be entertained, to have, fun and freedom? You got to have money and time, and hopefully security. So this is the main need. Now, what is the need that the product solves? So that's the need of the people, right? But what's the need that we're actually solving? The need that we're actually smelling is or that we're solving, not smelling. Small businesses fail due to lack of customers. That's the number one reason. Not because they have a bad product, they just don't have anyone to talk to. 61% of small businesses say getting leads is the number one challenge that they have. Now, this information came directly from ChatGPT. They pulled it from, if you know anything about ChatGPT, it pulls it from like a gazillion different places. So they just consolidated all the information. Number three, most small business owners wear too many hats. Marketing always gets neglected. Now, Brandy and I, because of being involved in the same company with Mike and Paul, who started this company years ago, that was a marketing lead company. That's what they taught. They taught social media marketing. One of the things that we took from that company is that helped us build our holistic company. That helped us build our real estate company, and that helped me build my, leadership network. That company that I created. And we constantly get asked. I mean, I don't know how many times Brandy gets asked when I don't know it. People are always asking us for how do you market? How do you do leads? I woke up this morning to one of the girls who works for us in our holistic company. She said, "Hey, when can you set aside time to teach me how to grow my business on social media using marketing, using leads, using this?" And I was like, "Well, funny enough, we have a program now that can teach you how to do that." Number four, inconsistent marketing. Many of us have put out the right message, but the question is, have we done it enough times? And are we doing it on a regular, daily, hourly basis? Number five, small business owners were never trained to market. This is wild. In the profession or industry of network marketing, one of the things I find that always gets neglected is marketing, right? I mean, it's in the title of what you do, but it's one of the least things taught. They teach you how to sell. They might teach you how to send a website or a link to somebody, but what they don't teach you is how to market yourself to bring clients to you, authority marketing. Number six, small businesses that invest in marketing training usually grow 2 to 3 times faster than their competitor. I think that's kind of important, right? I mean, how many people here would like to grow whatever business they have faster? How many people would just like to grow your income at 2 to 3 times the rate that it's going, right? Dave raised his hand. And I'm sure everybody else did, but I can't see you because you're not on video. Digital attention is crowded. So training helps you stand out. Right now, one of the things that happens is people join some of these direct sales network marketing companies. How do you differentiate yourself from everybody else that's doing it? How many people here who've been in one of those companies would say yes, it's a good idea if you were able to differentiate yourself from everybody else in that company by basically sharing information and getting leads of people coming at you versus you pitching them. How many people think that that might be a good idea? If you woke up every day where people were reaching out to you saying, "Hey, I want information on this thing that you're talking about." That might make it a lot easier, right? Number 8, follow-up systems can increase conversions by 300%. Here's the thing. How many people here have ever supposed to follow up with somebody and you forgot? Say aye. Dave said yes. I said yes. Everybody here who's done this has forgotten somebody at some point. The difference is when you create a system to do it, you don't miss out. You don't miss out. One of the things I learned from that first company that I was in that we're going to be teaching here is something called push marketing and pull marketing. Push marketing is what you do in direct sales. When you're broke, some of us are broke here. Some of us, are so broke that we can barely pay attention, right? Um, but what do you have? What do you have when you're broke? You have time. So you push the marketing out in the market initially, but what we want to teach you how to do is pull marketing. We want to teach you how to bring people to you, and that's what the system teaches. We're going to show you that here in a second. Number 9, leads are an asset, not an expense. So people are like, oh my gosh, I have to pay to get leads. Yes. Every successful business on the planet, realtors buy leads, insurance people buy leads, car salespeople buy leads, people who sell boats buy leads, people who sell airplanes buy leads. You know who doesn't buy leads? Broke individuals in direct sales and network marketing who constantly say, I don't have any money. Now, think about this. You are trying to attract people. You are trying to attract people into a business with you, but you're sharing with those same people that you're broke and you don't even have enough money to go out and find customers. Do you think that's helping you build your business? And the answer is probably not, right? Number 10, and this is what really tipped me off. One simple funnel can outperform months of random posting and texting. I will give you a literal example of this. Brandy and I, with our holistic health company, I had people contacting us from all these different websites and all these different places we had information coming in. They would email us. And my stupid self would wait till the end of the month and literally go copy and paste each individual email and name into our database. Brandy's like, why don't we just set it up where they have to give us their information before they get our phone number? And I was like, I don't know. I resisted change. And that's the main thing. That's the main reason people stay broke is they just resist to change. Outside of resisting to spend any money, they resist change, which was also what I didn't want to do. Well, guess what she did? She's like, I'm not going to listen to you. And it's not, I mean, we agreed. I was like, it's too much time for me to set it up. She went in and set it up. She built a landing page for each individual person, and our database grew to 13,000 clients. 13,000 clients. So here's how this works. Once you have a database of leads that big, you know how you make money? You just send an email. That's all we have to do. All we have to do every week is send an email to that list and say, hey, we have availability. We have open times. Do you want to book something? Now that's for a holistic company. So one simple funnel, guys, one simple funnel, the right funnel can make you 6 figures faster than anything you personally can do once you learn how to get traffic to go to that funnel. So market availability. How big is the market? Well, the direct sales profession, which is one of the markets that we look for. Now, I'm not looking to replace what you're doing. I'm looking to enhance it. There's 60 million independent direct sales representatives worldwide, and 15 million of them are here in the United States. And again, that came from ChatGPT. I'll put that that's a little note. Anybody want to text me, make a note about the co-founders and make a note. Brandy probably text me on that. 15 million independent representatives. Now, small businesses, there's 450 million worldwide, but there's 33 million small businesses just in the United States alone. This is small businesses, solo entrepreneur, all the way up to 99 employees. The SBA, Small Business Administration, said that a small business is any business with 99 employees or less, regardless of how much money it makes. It's not a money thing, it's about how many employees they have. And what do we know about small businesses? They neglect marketing, they neglect getting leads. And if you don't have any leads, you go out of business. So, what are the products? The very first product is an app called Let's Go. So, what this does is it allows you to set goals and set reminders for things like gratitude, stretching, meditating, praying. I mean, how many of these things have we all said we're going to do, we're going to do, we're going to do, but we don't have that daily reminder, so we forget until the next time we read a book or listen to a podcast or watch a show on it. Visualization, purpose, affirmations, exercise, read, journaling, mantras, planning the day. So goal setting, keeping consistent and motivating. This is an app that allows you to plug all that stuff in and you can create it to the day. So let's say you need to work out every other day. Well, every other day you'll get a reminder. Street counters. This actually counts how many times you've actually done it. So you have to go in and check it. Hey, I just drank my 6 bottles of water today. I just did my vitamins. I just did my workout. I just did my cardio, blah, 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 blah. And then you actually have a counter that shows you how consistent you are. This is very cool. One of my coaches that not charged. He charged $1,000 an hour. And this was 15 years ago, 16 years ago. Now, think about this. If you charge $1,000 an hour, you have to create results because people will come out and find you if not, right? They're going to be looking for you if you don't create results. So, one of the things he said is if you can get to a point where you complete 80% of what you say you'll do, if you complete 80% of what you say you will do, you will be more successful than all the other people competing against you. How do you do that? First of all, you need to have a goal written down and you need a way to track it. Those were the two things that he said. Total completion count shows you how many wins. Daily competition completion boxes. That's how you customize all this. And then a calendar of the day, the week, the month. So this is goals, tasks, habits, and if you want to throw in nutrition as well, there's actually a counter for how many calories you put in your weight, body fat percentage, everything. And you're like, how many calories should I be consuming? And then it can break it down. And I mean, you can get really specific. So what this does is this is not just to make you successful in your business. This is overall success. What they found is the people who built themselves. Jim Rohn said, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Work harder on yourself than you do on your business. If you improve, everything improves. So that is specifically what this product is. Now, when he told me about this, when I first was learning about this and reading about it, I was like, okay, that's gonna be a couple $100. And then I found out, they were able to build the product and it's $10 a month. And I was like, wow, anybody could do that. Like anybody. I mean, you could literally be working part-time and be able to do this. Next is the actual funnel builder. Now, we've already mentioned, obviously, and the need is one funnel can change everything. So the Funnel Builder Academy is actually a training on not only how to build the funnels, but there are over 160 pre-done templates. What is a template? A template is basically a drag and drop template. If you've ever used PowerPoint, if you've ever used Word, that's drag and drop. You pull the picture in, you set it where the other picture was, and it populates. So it's done for you templates. It's unlimited funnels and pages. So you can build as many funnels as you want. Drag and drop editor. They even have membership sites, which I was very interested in for some of the stuff I'm doing. A booking and scheduler, quizzes and surveys. So let's say, just for instance, you're in a direct sales company. And if you're in a direct sales company that sells health-related products, wouldn't it be cool to put out a survey? Say, hey, I'm just doing a survey. Would anybody fill out this survey? I'm going to give away some health products. Boom, you do the survey, you get a couple hundred leads, and once a month you give something away. I mean, there's many ways to do this with different companies out there, but the surveys and quizzes are awesome. And then PDF and audio hosting, so you can actually host your own podcast off of this platform. High converting, I'm sorry, build high converting sales funnels. There are other companies out there. I'm not allowed to mention their direct names. I was told not to mention their names for compliance issues. They just don't want to get sued. One of them is called Go Rye Level, or at least it rhymes with that. Another one is called Flick Funnels. And both of those roughly run somewhere between 100 to $300. The all-in package is $300. So I was expecting again a couple $100 product, and then he's like, it's $25 a month. And I'm like, well, anybody could do that. So we're at a whopping $35 a month, and we have two products that literally every business owner on the planet should be using, needs, but doesn't know exists, or they know they exist. They're just so complicated that the average person can't do it. This is stuff the average person can do. Next up is the premium product, which is Traffic and Conversions Academy. So this is more education. So we're talking about step-by-step traffic and lead generation, both free traffic and paid traffic. What is traffic? Traffic is advertising and marketing skills, teaching you how and what to post on a particular platform that will get eyeballs over to either your website, your landing page, or wherever you want them to go. Traffic is nothing more than getting people to go look at your stuff. Conversion training. So we go from getting people to look at your stuff. Conversion training is how do I make people buy it? Right? Okay, they got there, they're looking at it, but how then do I lead them through a process to get them to actually purchase? So there's education, there's tons of training in the back office on how to do this, regardless if you're using Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, etc. Sales and conversion vault, that's all the past trainings that I was talking about. Live sales and conversion training. So every single day, Monday through Friday, they actually do a 1 hour training at 11 o'clock. All of it's recorded in the back office. So don't say you can't make it because you can watch it at 11 o'clock at night if you want to, if you're up that late. All the trainings are there. So smart posting. Imagine uploading one video or one post, and then HBA, this program, goes and posts it to every single platform that you put in there. So basically, what you do is you set it up and you put all of your stuff, all of your platforms there with all of your stuff, and you post once and it posts to 10 places at once. How many people that would save a ton of time, which is very cool. Prompt Write AI is high converting copywriting. So a similar product to ChatGPT. And I'm not supposed to use their name, so GTT.
But Miss Perry,
Hello, hello.
what's going
Kevin's
on?
here. What's happening? So what else here? Van Gogh AI image creator. So if you're familiar with some of the other AI image creators, you're able to do 3 daily. I haven't used this one yet because I'm so used to using my other one. This is one of the ones I'm going to get. Sage AI, I've used quite a bit. It's a 24-hour AI tool just to, search for answers. And all you have to do is type in and say, hey, I want a video. Send me to the video, anything about Instagram. I want to learn everything I can about Instagram. It'll go find all the stuff buried in this site about Instagram training, multiple streams of income, several done for you landing pages, custom welcome videos, your personal welcome. So one of the things you have that you can do is you can go record a video, put it on YouTube or wherever you want to. You can host it here if you want. And then every time somebody joins, it will fire out that welcome video. You don't even have to do it. You just set it up and it does it every time. So this is tools, this is training, this is daily coaching. The main thing to understand here is this is education on how to do. The reason Brandy and I were able to create 317 Holistic Health to, last year, just about $900,000 in revenue, and we make a multiple six-figure income for creating that. The reason we were able to do that is this product right here was the similar product to that company that I was in with Mike and Paul years ago. That's where I learned it all. So when I saw this, I was like, this right here is the most valuable part of the entire program. Obviously, education, once you know it, can't be taken away. And once you know how to do this, no matter what new platform comes out, once you know how to create traffic, capture leads, and convert sales, when you know how to do those three things, you can do them on any platform. So again, I was like, okay, they're going to be selling this for a couple $100s a month. And he's like, no, it's 125. And I was like, well, this product alone is worth the entire system. So what's next? Financial literacy. So one of the things I saw inside of direct sales and network marketing, and because I'm a realtor and because I also had a credit repair company and I still have a credit repair service, I help people all the time with that. I help people get business credit as well. That's all free. I do not charge for any of that. I just send people the information. I have multi millionaires who are in our industry who reach out and ask me those questions because the majority of people who make a lot of money in direct sales and network marketing have no idea about taxes and have no idea how to, set things up credit wise to get your biggest bang for your buck. So one of the things Paul and Mike realized is this happens to so many people. They start making money and they do all the wrong things with it. They start increasing their lifestyle before they pay off debt and just dumb stuff like that. So the Financial Literacy Academy is basically an entire program, education program created also by this tax attorney. So now you're getting a tax attorney, a CPA involved, a best-selling author involved, actually teaching and training it. Financial Literacy 101 is basically the money mindset, assets, liability, just knowing the basics. And then debt elimination. How do you eliminate debt? Tax strategies, real estate investing, which I know many people here have called me out and asked me, hey, will you teach me this? Right? James is like, absolutely. Asset protection. Meaning, how do you set up? I just had a friend of mine go, okay, well, do I need to set up an S Corp, an LLC? I was like, well, that depends on what you're trying to get done in the end, like what kind of tax strategy and blah, 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 blah. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a CPA. I don't play one on TV, but that's what this product talks about. And then Bank Beater Pro app is a debt elimination tool. If you're familiar with Dave Ramsey and how he does the snowball technique, it's kind of similar to that, but now it's an app. You plug everything in, and this thing shows you what to pay first in the order. And I saw a program like this a long time ago. It was like $300, just a month, $300 a month. And basically you loaded all your bills in and it showed you what to pay in what order based on the interest rates and stuff. And it showed you the fastest way to get out of debt. That's what this is part of this program. There are 9 modules, 57 lessons as part of the financial literacy. This product is $1,000 one time. Everything else is monthly. This is $1,000 one time. Yes, it can be a tax write-off if you want to use it for that. But what I'm really excited to share with you guys now is about the compensation plan. Can you buy all the products individually? Yes, because some people are like, well, I don't think I need everything. That's fine. You don't have to buy everything. But I want to share with you how this works. So the affiliate, it's a partner program. What is an affiliate compensation plan? Basically, an affiliate program is a way to earn commission by referring people to someone else's product. You don't have to build nothing. Everything's already built if you just want to sell the program. Now, can you use the program to build your own thing to sell whatever else you have? If you have a small business, beauty, massage, whatever, yes, you can do that. If you're in direct sales or network marketing, can you build specific pages for that? Yes. If you're a realtor, can you build specific pages for real estate or insurance? You can do all that. But I'm just talking about if you want to resell the program that's here. That's what the affiliate program's for. So basically, when somebody buys through your link, you get paid. That's the basics. How does the affiliate program work? Well, when you join HBA, you automatically are eligible for the affiliate program on any product you own. You own the product, you're an affiliate, you can get paid. You don't own the product, it passes up to the next person, which is very cool, right? You get your own personalized tracking links and landing pages. They're already done. They're already built for you. You do not have to go in and build anything. Now, could you go get your own URL? You could get your own website and then direct everything there. You could do that. I haven't done any of that. In the first 5 weeks, I have 48 commissions that have come in already. 48 from 11 different individuals. When someone purchases through your link, you earn commission. That's the basics here, right? How much does it pay? 80%. Guys, if you're super lucky in network marketing, super lucky, you're probably somewhere between 20 and 30% at the upper level part of the comp plan, meaning the people who like really have gone all the way up, they might make 20 to 30%. By the way, the industry average, you guys know what the industry average percentage is on the product you sell, what you get paid back? It's about 20, it's somewhere between 22 and 26%. That's what the average is. Now there's some better, right? I've seen companies that pay up to 60%, but 80% is ridiculous. In fact, when Paul and Mike actually mentioned this, the owners of this actually mentioned when they shared this with their tax attorney, the tax attorney's like, "What are you idiots doing? You cannot sustain a business paying out 80%. You'll collapse. There's no way." Well, here's what the tax attorney didn't know is they're selling digital products. Digital products you can build once. I mean, you constantly have to improve them, but digital products you can build once and you can resell them over and over and over and over and over again. So the company actually makes less money than the individual who's selling it, which is insane. But it's a good insane if you're an affiliate, right? So how does this work? Let's Go. We already talked about this. This is the app that's $10 a month. It pays $80 or 8% or 80% commission, which is $8 a month residually. By the way, this right here is more residual income than the average network marketer ever makes on any product they ever sell. $8 a month. Most companies, if you're lucky, you're making somewhere between $1 to $3 per person per month. If you're lucky. If you're really lucky, you might get to $5. So just with our $10 product, you're probably ahead of 90% of the people. Now, again, this is not competing against what you're doing. You're adding this on the front end. So if you looked at a funnel, right? If you're in direct sales and network marketing, this little speech is for you. If not, just ignore what I'm going to say. There's a funnel. The top part of the funnel is getting leads. The bottom part of the funnel is you selling your product, program, network marketing company. If you can bring in a bunch of people at the top who want leads and you have a lead system, think about this. Everybody else in the network marketing business you're in does not have a lead system, doesn't have a way to find people, doesn't have information on how to do that. They're just having to go to the meetings and struggle and send out links. But you have this. I would rather join you than anybody else in the industry, regardless of what they're making, because you have a way to find leads. But $10. The next $25 a month pays 80% commission, $20 a month residually. So if you want to make $100 a month, you'd have to sign up 5 people. $100 a month residually. And you're like, well, that's not a lot of money. But residually it is. Do you know how much money you'd have to have in a bank account to earn $100 a month, like a general savings account? A general savings account is like 0.01% or maybe 0.03 percent. You'd have to have thousands and thousands. I think I have an account that has 25 or 30 grand in it, and I don't think I make $20 a month, right? I mean, I make a couple nickels, and at the end of the year, it's like, hey, you made $16. Thank you for storing your money with us. And by the way, you have to sign 15 pieces of paper if you want to take it all out at the same time. Um, Bitcoin, right? That's the reason Bitcoin exists, or cryptocurrency. So 125 a month, 80%, $100 a month. That was the number that basically sold me it. I was like, if I made $100 per customer and I wanted to make $1,000 a week, I need 40 clients, 40 total customers, and I'm now at $4,000. I'm at 50 grand a year. Now, obviously, everybody would have to stay in. I mean, there's a lot of ifs, right? There's a legal disclaimer here. At the very bottom, it says typical affiliates do nothing. Typical affiliates in most programs do nothing. If you do nothing, you earn nothing. That makes sense, right? No sales equals no income. If you want to see the full disclosure, if you add up all the people, the 80, it's always 80-20. 80% of people do nothing, 20% of people do something, and if just a few make a lot of money. And that's how all programs work. Real estate's like that, insurance is like that, car sales is like that, etc. The average person here makes about $300 a year. Not a lot, not a lot. But what if you just found one technique to use for your direct sales company? You got to 6 figures there. Would it be worth it? Probably, even if you sold nobody into this program. So what else? The Financial Literacy Academy. So there is a one-time promotion. If you decide to take advantage, and you don't have to, but if you decide to take advantage of their Fast Start program here or their 2-week trial program, which is hugely discounted, you can actually buy this in the first few days for $500. And if you have anybody on your team that does that, or not your team, if you have anybody personally who buys it from you, you get 80% commission, $400. But if they wait and they pay the 1,000 later, you would make 80% commission. You make $800 one time. So what happens is you've got these little drips of $8, you've got these little drips of $20, you got the big chunks of 100, and then every once in a while you get these huge, massive commissions. Obviously, if you had an automated system that was signing people up on a regular basis, and you have a couple 400s come in a month and a couple thousands come in a month, how long would it really take you to make $1,000 a month or $1,000 a week? And there are people here inside of HBA that make $1,000 a day. How many people like the $1,000 a day? I kind of like that, right? And here's the crazy thing. Most of the people, and I've met several of them, most of the people who are making $1,000 a week to $1,000 a day also have another business that's making them money. I was taught this: if you can make $100 to $200 in this hand, and you can make $1,000 in this hand, which hand would you choose? And everybody says the bigger one. And the answer is both. Why would you not want both? You got one that comes in all the time, and you got one that has these big chunks. I want both. So if you're all in on just the monthly stuff, it's $160 a month at 80% commission, pays $128 a month residually. So how many people do you need to make some decent money? So I built a chart. I was like, let me see. One person that has all three products at 160. This is without the financial literacy product, right? Where this is just the monthly revenue. That would be $128 with one client. You'd make $1,500 a year if the person stayed in all year. That's a big if, right? Now, let's say you got 10 of them in. Now you're at $1,200. 10 customers pays $1,200 a month, a little over. That's $15,000 a year. That's with 10 customers. 15 grand. 20 customers, you're now at 30 grand. Let's get here to a big number, 50 customers. Well, people are like, oh man, 50 customers. Well, 50 customers, break this down, is 4 customers a month, 1 a week. If you could find 1 customer a week all year, you'd be at $76,000 a year if they all stayed in. But if you had a system that constantly signed people up and replaced the ones that go off and do other things and forget to pay and, do other weird stuff, would it be possible to maintain 50? Of course. Here's a magic number: 70 customers. 70 customers paying $160 a month at 80% is $8,960, which is $107,000 a year. Now we're talking adult money with 70 customers. What if it took you 2 years? What if it took you 3 years to get to 70 customers? 70 people. Now, here's an interesting, number. How many customers / recruits do you need in the average network marketing company to hit 6 figures? If you don't know that number, go to ChatGPT and type the following in. Analyze all network marketing companies across the world. How many people on my team buying and selling would I need to get to 6 figures? The answer is going to be a lot. It is going to be way more than 70, like by 10x, in some companies by 20x. 100 customers, 12 grand, 150 grand a year. Now we're talking. So when Brandy and I saw these numbers, I was like, this is a no-brainer. When is the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When was the best time to sign up in HBA? Probably 10 years ago when it started. Now, obviously, we can't go back in time. And if you could, you would have skipped this meeting and probably gone back and bought Apple stock and Walmart stock and gotten into Bitcoin when it was 2 cents, get a couple thousand of them. But the second best time is probably right now. So the big question is how do you get started and how much is it? Well, what Mike and Paul did is they wanted something where anybody could try this out. because it's a digital product and it's just, click a button. You basically get the sign up link for the person. There's a $35 trial. It costs $35 to try all the products, all the monthly products, right? So they're basically giving you access to the 125 product as well for nothing, just to try this out for 2 weeks. You get to test run everything. What you want to do is immediately schedule a game plan to understand how this works and get to our fast start training. The fast start training is going to start next Thursday. Next Thursday we're going to start the fast start training. I'll probably do a trial run during the middle of the day, just because I know that we have an event that evening. But from then on, it's going to be every Thursday evening. We're going to do a fast start training. So Tuesday is going to be the open house. Thursday is going to be the fast start training. Anybody who wants to can plug into this. Anybody from any program can plug into this. It's just going to show you what to do and how to do it. So $35 for the trial. So again, we're going to do this open house every single Tuesday. And we all know businesses are looking for leads and ways to market themselves. Our job is basically just to educate them before anybody else does. That's what we do. So I said at the very beginning, we wanted to throw out education on how we do what we do. So if you run into the right person, you can refer them to us. Now that you know what we do, we would gladly accept any referrals. If you're ready and want to sign up, you just text the person back and say, send me your link. Or if you're like, hey, I need this for my own self, can it work here? If you have questions about it, get back with the person. They'll try to answer the questions. If they can't, I'll be around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this recording right now. Stop.